talking with Robb Ewoldt, United Soybean Board member. First thing I want to talk to you about, Robb, is fiscal year 26 investments. The Farmer Board of United Soybean Board just approved the budget. What are some of the things that are going to be a priority in 26?
I tell you what, it's all about demand. I think we know that the U.S. soybean farmer is very good at production, and we just need to do a little bit better job at getting the demand up where it can compete with our supply.
So then when we look at those demand goals for the United Soybean Board, the three facets that we have, the first one, animal nutrition. Tell us a little bit about those animal nutrition goals again.
I tell you what, being a hog producer in Iowa, I'm pretty excited about the investments that we've made with when it comes to soybean meal inclusion rate in swine diets. Some of the research that we're seeing now is that there's definitely health benefits to our swine herd by feeding a higher inclusion rate of soybean meal, which is wonderful because herd health is an issue for the hog producers, and if we can give them a benefit, let's do it. We've also done some research and found that maybe the energy level is actually higher than what was originally thought when it comes to soybean meal. So another added benefit, and summers in Iowa get pretty hot on those hogs, and by feeding a higher inclusion rate of soybean meal in that diet, we've been able to overcome that lighter carcass weight when we're coming through the hot summer months.
So then on the other side, we're looking at bio-based innovations as well. One of the most interesting things I think from soy production, especially in recent years, is that firefighting foam that's produced from soybeans. First off, what product of soybean is that produced from, and how is that fitting into the soy industry?
So it's coming out of the protein side of the soybean, and it is an amazing bit of research that has been done and developing, and now we're in the marketing stage when it comes to the firefighting foam. It takes the place of the PFAS, or the forever chemicals that are in the current formulation for the foam, and makes it a safer alternative for our firemen, especially in Iowa. We have a lot of volunteer firemen out there, and trying to make it as safe as we can in an inherently dangerous occupation.
I think it's very interesting too. At Farm Progress Show, there's a lot of things on display, but I would think the most used thing at the show is people's shoes. And we've seen that these soybeans can be used in the production of Skechers even. Tell us how that fits in and kind of how that came about.
You know what, I'm not the scientist, but the hyoleic oil is the important compound that we're using in the rubber. Whether it's in our shoes or in our tires, we're using it. As we walk around the Farm Progress Show, we're also seeing that hyoleic oil gets used in some fashion as an adhesive in the asphalt. So we can do recycled asphalt now at a much cheaper rate and a more environmentally friendly way of doing it with using hyoleic, a renewable oil.
And you touched on that hyoleic soybean oil that's got use in dairy cattle. And we're seeing the improvements to the milk fat yield, high profit potential for those dairy producers and farmers. There's a lot of benefits from the oil in their feed as well.
This is the latest that we've learned about when it comes to hyoleic soybeans. And it's the roasting of the whole bean the proper way and then fed to the dairy cows. It's improving that dairy fat or the milk fat in the dairy, in the milk. This is quite an opportunity for both the dairy and the soybean farmer. And as I've said, if you're growing soybeans next to a dairy farm, you want to be talking to that dairy farm about the use of hyoleic soybeans. And I think it could be a win-win for both operations.
And one last thing, Robb, on the driving demand side of things, exports are a huge part of that, getting that demand globally, driving that profit back to the farmer. How are the goals for exports working with USB right now?
Well, there are some challenging times right now on the export side, but we are finding opportunities, and we're finding them with our buyers in Mexico and in South America, Central America. We talk Canada. We can also talk North African countries, Europe. Europe's really starting to take off in buying soy because we fit very well into their sustainability goals. So there are some great opportunities out there. We're investing in meeting with those buyers, and we're also investing in our infrastructure to move that product in the most efficient way out of our country to these other places. The Pacific Northwest, we have invested money up there to help with soybean meal export facilities. In the past, we've invested in New Orleans, in the port of New Orleans, for deepening and getting bigger boats that can move the product more efficiently across these oceans. So we are investing that way. We are trying to find new markets. And so there are opportunities out there. It may not be a home run, but it's going to be a single or a double, and we can win baseball games on that.
All right, Rob, that's a lot of great information today. For anyone who wants to learn more about their soy checkoff investments that are driving value back to the farm, how can they do that?
Well, you can get on your computer and go to the UnitedSoybean.org, and that will give you more information that's in what we're doing with your dollar.